morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. I can see it's already 8:05, and I guess we'll have to start given the time and the content that we need to present today. I guess people will find us as we go along. So my name is Grace Nzula. I'm a HR consultant and trainer with the Tara Solutions. You are tuned in to Get It Right with the Tara Solutions, a webinar series that seeks to demystify issues in employment and entrepreneurship. We do this every Tuesday from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. But given that the elections are taking place tomorrow, people voted last week that they would want the webinar to happen today. So I know there's somebody who has asked me whether these sessions have changed to Mondays. No, they haven't. We're just being flexible and trying to accommodate everyone. And yeah, so without further ado, allow me to just Get It Right with the Tara Solutions is a webinar series that seeks to demystify issues in employment and entrepreneurship. And we do this in partnership with a number of organizations. And we have Balcon Housing. Balcon Housing is a real estate and it's a real estate and property management company. If you're looking for a piece of land, if you're looking for somebody to manage your property, then Balcon Housing will be your people. We have Stallion Construction Company Limited. Stallion Construction, as the name spells it, is a construction company. If you're looking to renovate your house, your office, subdivide a new office, or just come up with a new structure altogether, then Stallion Construction Company will be able to support you on that. Then we have Pathway Solution Services. Pathway Solution Services have been giving us free trainings every time people have been tuning in. It's been, I think, an amazing experience. We've been getting awesome reviews for the people who've been able to train on their LMS. LMS is Learning Management System. And in this season, Frank has been offering free training for your organizations, and we are going to announce what he is on offer today at the end of this session, so please stay tuned. And then we have the Institute of Pension Management. Institute of Pension Management, again, like the name spells it, they manage pensions. But it's also a college. If you look an HR professional on this call and you haven't done your what do we call them? CHRP, then please get in touch. They still have an intake ongoing with the Institute of Pension Management. But if you're a HR professional and you're wondering what happens during pension management, they normally have short training courses. They're like 2 days, 3 days, or 4 days that will give you information on getting better and managing pension in your organizations. And maybe this is a career that you may want to specialize in. So check them out, Institute of Pension Management. And then we have Fina Gardens. Fina Gardens is Fina Gardens Resort. Is a resort located in Naivasha on Moi South Lake. Fina Gardens is located in Naivasha on Moi South Lake. And they have been giving us an offer in Atara Solutions. If you go there and mention that you're a follower of Atara Solutions, or you mention Grace Nzula, you'll be able to get a 10% discount. For those of you who want to go on a holiday this month, this is August. You book 2 nights, they'll give you a night for free. I repeat, 2 nights, they'll give you a night for free. So if you're looking to do a vacation, a solocation, a staycation, whatever it is that you want to do, please, they have a beautiful swimming pool and their food is out of this world. So Fina Gardens Resort, you can check them out on their social media pages, or you can get in touch with me and I'll be able to share with you details on how you can find them. And then we have Panessa Training Institute. Panessa Training Institute is a carpentry training college or a woodworking shop. If you are here and your passion is to work with your hands and you want to create beautiful items, then Panessa Training Institute is the school to join. And then we have WeClean. WeClean is a carpet cleaning company. They actually have a machine that cleans your carpet within 6 weeks. I mean, 6 minutes, gosh, 6 weeks, 6 minutes. And they do free delivery, pickup and delivery in Nairobi, and free pickup and delivery around Nairobi, and they are able to return your carpet within 24 hours. So WeClean, you can check them out on Instagram and Facebook, or you can get in touch with me if you need your carpet cleaned. I know during the cold season we have not really been looking at it, but it's now time. It's time we get that carpet clean, yeah. And then we have Kapula Mintito. Kapula Mintito is located in Mombasa, but they do deliveries countrywide. They deal with the vipochopocho vya pwani, ama coastal snacks. Coastal snacks include cashew nuts. They sell Simos gel. They sell mabuyu. They sell kashata. Any coastal snack that you know of. Kapula Mintito, they are very active on Instagram, and you can get in touch with me if you are looking to get these coastal snacks. By the way, and this time they do deliveries countrywide, and they are mabuyus, my friend. And then we have the Career Management Center. The Career Management Center is a HR and consulting firm. They have a wonderful program for moms who wish to bounce back into employment. So if you're on this call and you took a break because you went to take care of your family, or you became a new mom and you took a break and you're looking to bounce back into employment, then they have an awesome program that supports you until you get a job. And then we have Ames College of Business and Technology for all your diploma or certificate courses in business, security, and also they offer CHRP. So these are our partners for on season 3, and we appreciate you. Thank you so much for enabling us to provide these webinars in partnership with you. We really appreciate you. So thank you so much for coming. And allow me to just mention, I appreciate my friend Herbert Zake, who is from Uganda. He really shared his, our flyer. And of course, I have to appreciate that. And then we also, I have seen Aaron Turamia Aaron Turamia is from Rwanda. So thank you so much, my good friends, for joining this call. And I am wondering, why do we normally get anxiety? You know, why are these uncertainties, and what exactly, how is it that we are so bad at dealing with uncertainties? And I know Frida is here to help us demystify that. sorry about that. So Frida will help us demystify how to handle uncertainties. And the keyword here today is how to thrive during uncertainties, because I think we have scenarios where at that point we normally don't know what to do with ourselves. And so today, instead of just existing, we are going to understand how to thrive. I'm trying to get her profile because I want to read it out. Somehow my WhatsApp web has refused to update, but I have it here with me. So I'll just read it out. So our speaker this evening is none other than Frida Owinga. Frida A. Owinga is an international and people development professional. Frida Owinga is the founder of Passion Profit. By the way, we have hosted Frida before. She's the founder of Passion Profit, a learning solution provider that elevates people's experience to thrive, backed by scientific data on the conditions of how human beings live, work, and thrive using tried and tested techniques and tools. She founded Passion Profit in 2009 and has trained over 30,000 people directly through partnership with corporates, faith-based organizations, and NGOs. Passion Profit runs a global workforce pipeline which equips youth with 21st century leadership skills and strategies to enable them to gig in any geography as a strategy to foster creation of decent work for all. She studied organization leadership and management at the Regent University and is certified life and work coach with Interwork USA. She has worked with individuals and organizations for over 25 years across sectors, from international trade, retail, tours, blah, 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 from all over the world, by the way. She's the first African president of the Organization of Women in International Trade, an American business support organization that oversees a multinational executive board. She also oversees a multinational executive board of 15 and board of 27 chapters around the world. She's non-executive director at Home Africa Limited. She's the vice chair of KEPSA SME Club and vice president partnerships of SME Founders Association An organization that enhances the competence, compliance, and ability to access capital for small and growing organizations. So my good friends, my good people, we are in very, very good hands. And I like the fact that it is scientifically tried and tested. So Frida Owinga, thank you very much for coming back to Get It Right. It's always a pleasure to host you. For those of you who are joining us and you never listened to Frida's conversation last time, she spoke to us about turning our passions into profit. And we have that recording and we can share with you. So Frida, how do we thrive?
How do you thrive?
Good
evening.
Uncertainty.
You speak so fast. So thank you so much for having me again, Grace. Whatever you had for lunch or dinner, I need to have some of it. Thank you. So we are going to be looking at, my brain is going as fast as your words. So I'm trying to slow down in my mind. I'm feeling like an Energizer bunny. Good evening, everyone, from wherever you are. It's a pleasure to serve you tonight. I'm in Nairobi, Kenya. I'm not going to complain about the cold, because part of thriving is recognizing and acknowledging your conditions. Like in Kenya, it is cold. So instead of going around telling everybody it is cold, dress warmly or find a heater. I have a heater down here. I promise you, the cold is not the situation. So part of thriving is understanding, being conscious of your surrounding and choosing your preferred reality, all right? So it is cold. Instead of complaining it is cold, wear warm clothes, find a heater, put on socks, whatever it is that you need to do. So we'll get right into it. And the first thing I'd like you to do, I'm going to give you a little exercise so that I can make sure you're with me. I'll put a link in the chat. And when I put the link in the chat, you're going to just click on it. And when you click on it, a pop-up is going to, let me put it in the chat, then we talk. I don't multitask. This business of hosts and panelists, I need to put to everyone. Just bear with me. Okay, I've put a slido.com link in the chat. You'll click on it and a question will pop up. When the question pops up, you're going to answer the question. And when you answer the question, let me go there so that we go there together. Good evening to you. I see that. Good evening. Thank you very much. Good evening. And it's going to be a great evening. Thank you for logging on. So you click on the link, it will ask you a question. Describe uncertainties that stress you. Please put in your answer. It is anonymous. Nobody will know what you have put, but we are going to see, they will pop up on the screen. So please put in your answers. Click on the link. Fantastic. I love your group. I love this group, Grace. They're participating, they're awake, they're waiting for us. Fantastic. Change of leadership, fear of the unknown, financial uncertainty, work. Just put whatever, whatever stress, whichever uncertainty stresses you, it will help me serve you better tonight. I see retirement. I see the one for retirement really amazes me, Grace, because I wonder, when I think of retirement, I'm 56. People used to retire at 55. I feel like I'm just starting my life. I look at Biden, I think he's 70. I look at Raila, the one who is hoping to be president this week. He must be over 60. Where are people retiring to? I keep telling people, I'm not going to retire, I'm refiring. So I retired at 55, I'm enjoying my life, I love speaking. I'll not stop speaking until I get to the other side. And those who join me on the other side will find me speaking, I'm sure. So I'm happy to see this lack of wealth, stressful environment, financial uncertainty, unpaid bills, corona pandemic, thank God it's going away, job interviews, lack of income to sustain, marriage, my retirement, my health. All these are valid reasons. All these are valid situations to stress you. Resigning without a plan. So don't resign, all right? So don't resign without a plan. Lack of spouse. Lack of spouse, my friend, don't get stressed, all right? Enjoy your life. When spouse comes, life changes. So enjoy. I've had a spouse and I'm without a spouse right now. If you ask me which one is better, I'll tell you, enjoy your life. Both are good, all right? Being broke, what my boss thinks of me, oh my word. What my boss thinks of me can be fixed. You can have a conversation with him and find him or her and find out and adjust it. But that's not my topic for today. So there you have it. Thank you very much for participating. So I'm going to take a screenshot no, I won't take a screenshot, but you have seen, these are the different things that stress us. All right, so I'm going to stop sharing my screen there and we'll get into what we have for today. Thank you very much for sharing. And I'm sharing my screen right now. I hope you can see my screen. Victoria Karuga has raised her hand. Victoria, how can we help you? Do you want to speak? You want to open your microphone and speak, or you want to put your question on the chat? Victoria Karuga's hand is up. Can somebody speak with her?
She already said no.
Okay, so
Yeah.
maybe the hand has gone down. Fantastic. Yeah. So you're welcome to our conversation tonight. And when we look at the words uncertainty, uncertainty is lack of sureness about something or someone. And that is what gives us stress. We are not sure about what our boss thinks of us. We are feeling lonely because we don't have a spouse. We don't know what will happen when we retire. We don't know what's going to happen about those unpaid bills. So we are stressed out. We don't know about, the new leader situation in Kenya could be stressing some people, but I'm here to encourage you and to just share with you some tips on how to remain stress-free, irrelevant of what is going on around you, which is how to thrive despite uncertainties, how to thrive, period. And how to thrive is to prosper or to flourish. To thrive is to grow strong and healthy. To thrive is to do well. And I'm here to let you know that you can do well no matter what is going on, no matter what is going on around you, because everything around you is temporary. Everything around you is temporary. So once you know that everything around you is temporary, the next thing is, what should you do about it? Because the truth is, you have the power in your hand, no matter how powerless you feel. And that's what I'm going to be sharing with you. And I've titled my talk tonight with my subtitle for tonight, Thrive Despite Uncertainty, and I'm calling it Sweat to Soar, all right? Sweat to soar. And sweat during certain times, because there are those times that we are relaxed. Like for instance, we are in Kenya. We know every 5 years we have elections, and that is not unique to Kenya. It's common in most African countries that the year of the election tends to have uncertainty. Now, since we know that every 5 years or no matter how many years it is in your country, this will happen in the time that there is no unrest, we need to do certain things so that during the unrest, we will soar anyway. Because when you learn about that, when you study the eagle soars against the wind, all right? It flies against the wind and the wind makes it fly higher. So also you as a human being, you are created to function whether there is turmoil or not, but the truth is you are created to thrive in turmoils, because it is in turmoils that your mind is engaged. And then when your spirit and mind are engaged, and then you're able to do better, you're able to grow. So just like a small child is born, and that when the child is born, they come out from hospital, they're little. When you leave them somewhere, you find them there even at the end of the day. But as they start growing, they start rolling, they start trying to walk, they start falling. They're entering uncertain terrain, but you encourage them. But when we grow up, our mind tends to play tricks on us, or we allow our mind to play tricks on us, that when we're entering zones that we are not familiar with, we feel fear, we feel anxious, and all those different emotions that come up. So tonight I'll share with you how to sweat during the certain times. When we were growing up, we used to be told, make hay while the sun shines. So if you want to thrive in uncertainty, during certainty, there are certain things that you need to do, and I call them sweating during certain times. So the first thing you need to do is articulate and deploy your strengths. Many of us have not articulated our strengths beyond our academic qualifications. And people without degrees and beyond tend to feel inadequate. Inadequate is the word, especially in this country. I'm in Kenya, remember, I don't know about your country, but in Kenya, I discovered that every time people come to me for business coaching or career coaching, and I ask them, what are you doing now? They tend to fall back to the last educational experience that they had. Whether when they reached that they were not able to go, especially if they were not able to go to university, they feel extremely inadequate. I'm here to give you good news that the academic education is extremely good, but if you don't have it, it's not the end of the world. You have other strengths. So the first thing you need to do during certain times is to sit down and articulate your strengths. Articulate them and deploy them, meaning that work from the area of your strengths. When you're looking for work, do not look for work based on just your degree. Look for work based on your experience. Look for work based on your exposure. Look for work based on the results that you have produced in other spaces. And these are not always only about where you have been employed for with a paycheck. So the first thing you need to do is identify, articulate, and deploy your strengths. The next thing, so sit down and write them down. I'm going to teach you how to sweat and saw. The next thing is your weaknesses. Identify and delegate your weaknesses. Now, how do you delegate your weakness? Once you've identified your strengths, you want to ensure that you're working from your strengths, and the things that you're not good at, you delegate. Many times when we hear the word delegate, we imagine employing somebody. Well, that is true. You can delegate in different ways. You can find people who enjoy the things that you don't enjoy and work with them to get them to do those things for you, because for sure the things that you enjoy will not be easy for them. So this will require you to articulate, what do you want to achieve? Which are the areas that you want to grow, so that you know when push comes to shove and this is what I need to do, I'm going to call on ABCD. For instance, women, we are tasked to keep the home clean, to ensure there's food, to ensure that the family is well. Well, that is the role that a woman has ordinarily. Today, men are supporting, and as men are supporting, you can have an extra support. We have house managers, all right? So you can have a house manager. If you don't like cleaning, you can get a washing machine. You can get somebody to come in and wash. During the pandemic, we were not able to do that, but there were people who started different laundromats. They could come and pick the clothes and take them there. What are you doing? You are delegating your weakness. You are delegating something that must be done for you to succeed that you are not good at. So you identify those and learn to delegate them, whether you delegate them for a fee or you delegate them for a barter, BARTER, is up to you. The third thing is you need to determine how high you want to fly, because many times uncertainty comes when we are comparing ourselves with others. So we are stuck, but because we don't have a roadmap, we start looking at the other cars passing us by. Up in the air, I don't think aeroplanes have time to see which plane is going faster than the other. Every plane has its roadmap, has its flight plan, where it's supposed to go, and it knows how, even when you enter in the plane, it tells you this is how far we are going to go in case of turbulence. So they're already anticipating some uncertainty, but they have prepared for it. We are going to fly 6,000 feet, whatever, and when we get to a place where there's turbulence, this is what we expect you to do. We expect you to tie your seatbelt and stay on your seat. So you also, your life is your flight. You determine which flight is it. Is it a Boeing 747 or is it a Cessna? You know, those small little flights that go like this, all right? You need to identify which flight are you, so that when there's turbulence, you will know what to do. Turbulence will be there. So you need to know that at certain times will be there. That's why you prepare for them before they come. How high do you want to fly? When there's turbulence, what are you going to do? Based on your strengths, you're going to take action. Based on your weaknesses, you're going to delegate. When there's turbulence, you don't see the pilot walking up and down. It is the air hostess that walks up and down and tells people, remain in your seat, your seatbelt is not on, so you cannot do everything. So one of the reasons we struggle in uncertainty is because we have not identified we have not articulated what turbulence we can anticipate and what we are going to do when it happens. Number 4, we are sweating in the times of certainty. Number 4 is you must develop timelines. When you enter the plane, they tell you, we're going to take off at XYZ time, and we're going to fly at this height, and we're going to be at our destination by this time. All right. So you need to have a flight plan for your life. If you don't design your life, you're going to go by default. You'll be a drifter. And when you're drifting, anything is free to happen. All right. But when you have a flight plan, you can be able to monitor the time of turbulence, what to do in the time of turbulence, who to call to support you, because you already know that this is what I need to do. This is where I'm going. These are the strengths that I have, and these are the weaknesses. And during this weakness, these are the people that I'm going to call in. I hope this is making sense for you. And then develop timelines, how high you want to fly, by when and by what time. Now, I liked when we started, some people said the things that give them anxiety is retirement. When do you want to retire? Okay. Figure out when you want to retire. What does retirement mean for you? Remember, we are articulating and deploying our strengths. So what does retirement mean for you? All right. For me, retirement is speaking. I'm already in my retirement because I'm 56. I was making fun with Grace as we got in. People used to retire at 55. But today we see presidents, they're 70 years and older. So where are you retiring to? I believe in refiring. All right. So you need to know at 40, this is what I'm going to be doing. At 56, this is what I want to be doing. By the time I'm 60, I want to have multiple Fridas teaching what I teach in different countries. All right. So I don't have time to retire. Until I die, I plan to be speaking. I love speaking. God give me grace. I have my voice. My vocal cords are working and I can speak. I will be speaking. All right. So sweat in order to soar. Are we good? So you're going to put your questions in the chat. Then the next thing is, when we talk about strengths, I'm going to give you the general areas that you need to articulate and deploy. There are 5 critical areas of strength for any human being anywhere in the world. The first one is you must have spiritual fortitude. And I say spiritual fortitude. Spiritual fortitude is one's ability to draw consistently on spiritual resources to transcend and endure negative emotions in the face of stresses. That time you're making affirmations, affirmations are a spiritual exercise because you are saying something that you believe that is different from what is the reality. And you believe that your words are going to change that situation. And when people are really stressed, when people get into habits that are not supporting success, like alcoholism or abuse of substance, when they go into places like Alcoholics Anonymous and those kinds of places, the first thing they're asked to do is to believe that they are not able to do it on their own. There is a higher being. So why wait until you get into that kind of situation? You can believe on the higher being now, right now. Whether you choose to call him God, I call him God. And my spiritual belief is in the Lord Jesus Christ, the Son of God. So you choose yours, but make sure, because every single, when I've been in uncertain times, maybe a car is going to have an accident or there's trouble in an aeroplane, people pray. All right. So why wait for uncertain times? Learn to pray before. Remember, we are making hay while the sun shines. So number 1, spiritual fortitude. Number 2, mental health. Mental health is the ability to think clearly and make good decisions. It's also the ability to cope with stress and manage emotions. Talk to yourself like you talk to a good friend. Most of mental health comes because of how we have used our minds only for learning, but we have not used our minds to design and create our lives. So then we start getting into the place of mental health. And that's not my topic for today, so I won't venture there. I'm just giving you the 5 critical areas that you need to strengthen. Number 3, emotional you need to strengthen your emotions. Emotional health is the ability to cope with and manage your emotions. It's also the ability to have positive relationships. Now, when it comes to EQ, you need to know yourself. You need to know what makes you happy. You need to know what makes you angry. You need to know what makes you happy, what makes you angry, and what makes you fearful. All right, because once you know your triggers, then you can go out and begin to know, when this happens, I'm going to do this. A lot of the learning we have today is because what we are taught in school is great, but that's just the technical stuff. The soft stuff, which is important for us to grow and collaborate, communicate, and form relationships, now more than before we are being taught, but that is not the regular curriculum in school, and that's why we fear uncertainty. So you need to fortify your spirit, because you're a spirit living in a physical body, your mental health, your IQ, but also your thoughts, because as you think, you become. And many times people say that, should I just sit and think? We are thinking all the time, all right? We are thinking beings. And as you think, you become. When you become conscious of your thoughts and begin to change negative thoughts with positive thoughts, you'll begin to discover that you get inspiration to take action. All right. When you're just thinking of negative things, you will get into the place of trying to think negative things. That's why people with mental health get into suicidal situations. So it's all the thoughts in your mind are generated by you being conscious, to paying attention, beginning to change the ones that are not supporting your success. Then your emotional well-being, understand your triggers, what makes you fearful, what makes you happy, what makes you angry, and what are you going to do about it? I get really irritated when I tell somebody something more than 3 times. I tell you today, I tell you, and then
I didn't understand that.
Go again. All right, hold on. There's a device that's trying to help me do my work here. Okay, so I've turned it off. So by the time I'm telling you the 3rd time, I'm going to be intense. My voice is going to start rising, because I don't understand why a human being needs to be told something more than 3 times. Maybe I need to be like Peter and tell people 77 times 7 times. I really don't know how to do that yet. I'm learning, but I don't know if I'll get it. So know what triggers you. For me, after 3-4 times, I disconnect. And I tell you nicely, I don't stop talking. I just let you know that we have been going over this thing for X number of times. So I believe that we need to move forward. So I show you, by that time, I'll define what moving forward looks like. So spiritual, mental, emotional, and social, all right? Another critical strength that you need is the power the ability, let me not call it the power, the ability to connect with others. We are looking at how to sweat during certain times so that we can soar during the uncertain times. So just follow with me. So number 4 is your social strength. Do you have good relationships with your family? No matter what your parents did to you, your siblings and the rest, it is important to find a way to make amends, because your family, you cannot choose your family, all right? But your family will always be there for you. So you need to learn to cultivate that relationship. It is not automatic. There's 2 sides to every coin. So all I'm going to do tonight is encourage you to have a good relationship with your family, your parents, your siblings, and then the next layer of people, your friends, your girls club, your boys club. If you're a woman, have some men friends who are not necessarily your boy. Have some men friends. Have mentors who are men, because the way men think is very different from the way women think. Women, we are more relational. Men are more transactional. We need to learn a little more on being transactional and how to negotiate, which they do well. So there's no loss in having some men mentors. So your social network, we have heard over and over again that your social network, your network determines your net worth. But how are we cultivating it? Many people complain that when I lost my job, my phone stopped ringing. But when you had a job, how are you cultivating those relationships? Remember I said, make hay while the sun shines. Sweat during certain times, so that during uncertain times you'll be able to soar. If you have not given to those relationships during good times, during hard times, there'll be nothing to withdraw. And finally, your financial strength. Financial strength is simply typical signs of a strong financial health. Strong financial health includes steady flow of income. Steady flow of income today, you know, your job, depending on where you work, but more often than not, I coach people who are in very high jobs, and they still have a side hustle. So I'm not saying you must have a side hustle. I am saying, however, that you need to do an audit and understand how much does it take to keep you comfortable, and how much do you earn? What else can you do based on the strengths that you have? Because today the world is going to a gig economy, you can work for multiple people. So that business of saying that I can't have a gig on the side because my job won't allow me, no, it is your priorities that won't allow you. You need to manage your priorities so that you're focusing on the things that will help you generate that cash flow for that rainy season. If you're worried about unpaid bills, how much are you bringing in? How much are the bills? What else can you do? Because we all have the ability to do a little more to bring in a little more. So articulate and deploy your strengths. And these are 5 critical strengths that you need to audit to ensure that you're strong. And if you're not strong in them right now, it is temporary. You can get stronger. So moving along, it is time to soar. And in time to soar, so remember we said that during certain times, you sweat, you work on your strengths, you identify your strengths and contribute based on your strengths, identify your weaknesses, and create a team to support those weaknesses. It could be friends, it could be families, it could be people, it could be family members, or it could be people that you employ. So once you invested, when I say sweat in order to soar, put in the work so that during uncertain times, you can be able to soar despite what is happening. So in soaring, number 1, you need to function from the place of your strength. Many people want to try and do everything. Others want to try and do what Grace is doing because it looks so easy. Just because something looks easy doesn't mean it is easy. So find out your strength and function from your strength. You will be happier, you will contribute better, people will love you there. Those people who are wondering what their boss is thinking of them, that is a secret. Function from the area of your strength. The next thing is explore options. So now we have sweated, we have invested in who we are, and during uncertain times, number 1, reframe the situation. For instance, where I live, in my country, there's been a lot about the elections, then there's been a lot about fuel prices because of Ukraine. That was a global issue. Everybody has gone through the pandemic, so it's not unique to us. So during that time, you look at your options. I remember when the pandemic came, the first shutdown that we have, I was in Mombasa. Mombasa is another city away from where I live. I live in Nairobi, and I was going to start to train coaching associates in Mombasa. I remember sitting in my Airbnb and listening to the news that weekend, the president announcing that that we're going to have, I can't remember what we're calling it, but everything was going to be shut down. We're going to start the social distancing thing. It sounded like Greek, all right? We're not going to be able to gather in hotels and all that. So I remember my team calling me from Nairobi and saying, what do we do? Do we cancel? I said, no, we are not canceling, because I had, as a coach, all my coach training I did on Zoom. I said, we're going to do Zoom. And we didn't cancel the event. In fact, we had more people and we came. Why? I had options, and I got these options before the pandemic. I got these options looking at which are other ways to train people, because I knew I wanted to train people. I wanted to train people in multiple cities. So that is what I did before the pandemic. And during the pandemic, life was able to go on. So I hope that is making sense for you. If you make hay while the sun shines, you'll be okay when the rain comes. Then your altitude, determine how high you want to go. Based on your strengths, based on what you can and cannot do, what would you like to become? I know that I'm a people and business development professional. I work better with people, but there's general business development that I can do. You see, so what are my options? If I was given 2 opportunities to do business development or to develop people, and I was told you only have those 2, I'll take the people, all right? But I can do both. So you need to see what are your number 1, 2, 3, all right? And how can you work on them? And which is the number 1? Because good is always the enemy to great. So when you have to, you know, this is the one that I need to go for, this one I'm not going for, all right? Determine how high. How high is what are the different things that you're willing and able to do? And these are non-negotiable so that you're not saying yes to everything and you also know what to say no to. During uncertain times, we worry and we panic. But when you, like you see, during the pandemic time, when they said they're going to cancel, I said, we're not canceling. We can do Zoom. I remember I had a contract with one of the financial institutions and they're saying they're going to cancel because we're not going to meet physically. And I told them, what have you tried virtual? And they said, what is that? I said, we can go on Zoom, all right? And that not only saved me, it also saved other consultants that we work with, all right? So determine your altitude, function from your strengths. And you can only do this if you have stepped back and invested in that. And then finally, this is very critical. For you to soar, you need to be able to produce more results than excuses, all right? Many times we have more excuses than results. It is called, there is traffic, it is election time, or the oil prices have gone up. No matter how high the oil prices go up, you will see people on the road. So the question is, are you going to walk? Are you going to hire a car? Are you going to get on a matatu? What are you going to do? There are options. Always find the option that will make you produce the result. People who produce results are always sought after. People who make excuses are left on the wayside. For you to soar like an eagle, you must know your strengths, know your limitations, who can come in and support you during your limitations so that you keep going. In my country, sometimes people don't deliver on work because they say there was no power. I say, where you live, there's no what you call it, cyber cafe where you can go. In fact, I tell my team, before you come and complain about power, we work remotely. Find out 2 or 3 places you can go when power goes off. So you're not going to tell me about no power. So what have we learned to do? We say, find higher ground, all right? There's always an option. Find higher ground so that when there's no power, in fact, sometimes you'll say, I'm leaving my location, I'm going to higher ground. What are they doing? They're finding somewhere else to go where there will be power so that you're not giving excuses. Learn to challenge your excuses. What are we doing? Preparing for the uncertain times. Uncertain times, there's no power, there's no water. There's a time when where I live, the water never used to come. So I bought big tanks. And with these big tanks, I would make sure they always had water. So you'll never hear me complain about water. In fact, the neighbors would come and get water from me. So uncertain times are not, like the pandemic has happened once in our lifetime, but other uncertain times you can anticipate and plan for them. And how you anticipate and plan for them is starting with your end in mind. Just like the pilot, he's down on the ground, but he knows he's going to Washington, he's going to be going through Germany, he's going to be flying at a given altitude, and when there's turbulence, the air hostesses are going to help. So who are your air hostesses? So that you remain in the air. Who are the people who are going to come in and help during that time? What kind of turbulence are you expecting? Prepare all these things during certain times, all right? So finally here, the sweat to soar, then I'll open it up for questions. Number 1, make hay while the sun shines, all right? So make hay while the sun shines. I say work when inspired, work when you feel inspired. When we have been taught to, we have been taught to sit on our feelings, all right? To ignore our feelings. But I've learned to follow my feelings, all right? I'm a woman of faith, but I also follow my feelings. And I follow my feelings in when I need to do something and I feel rushed, I don't feel motivated, I put it on the side, I take a walk, I do something else until I get the inspiration. And I know when I get inspiration. There are places I sit and I get inspiration. All right. There's a couch I sit on, I get inspiration. When I take a shower, I get inspiration. So remember, I said, know your triggers. Know your triggers of anger, your triggers of joy, your triggers of inspiration. What music do you listen to that uplifts you? So you come into that zone and get things done instead of allowing things, the fear and anxiety to bring you down. Number 2, articulate your contribution. What kind of things do you enjoy doing based on the strengths that you identified so that you are always contributing from the place of value? People say, Frida, how do you do all these things? I say, I only do one thing in multiple spaces, all right? And it is one thing that I love and enjoy. That is designing learning solutions. You can call it designing training programs, whatever you want, but that is what I enjoy to do. That's why my company helps to shift paradigms, shifting paradigms because helping people to think differently so that they can have different results. People want new results, but they don't want to change the way they think. If you don't change the way you think, you are not going to change your behavior. If you don't change your behavior, your results will stay the same. So articulate your contribution and contribute from your strength. Resist comparison. Grace and I speak, but Grace is the, Grace, what is your title? She's the choice moderator. I love that title. The moderator of choice. Moderator of choice, all right? And she does it so seamlessly. She has fun and all that. I can do that when sitting down. I'm moderator of choice when sitting down. And she'll be walking up and down. She's energetic. I'm like, aren't you tired? All right. So resist comparison. Find out your sweet spot. Find out who needs it and contribute in that space. And you will never look forward to retiring. Explore options. There are many ways to skin a rat. I don't know how many of you watch Suits. I used to like watching Suits and now it's over. The guy, Harvey, says that if you can't find, if one way does not work, there are 146 other ways to get it done. So you must always find a way. Don't stop until you get to the altitude that you want to get to, all right? Because you can. If you have conceived it, you can achieve it, irrelevant of what any other person says. The problem is we listen too much to other people. While it is important to receive feedback, you must know this one is non-negotiable. No matter what anybody says, this one I'm not going to change, all right? And you'll find that the support you need will start coming towards you. We change things too quickly, then we're not, I almost want to say that we confuse the spiritual realm, but that's not my story for today. So explore options and opportunities. Don't take the first one. Take the one that will allow you to contribute from your area of strength, the first one, all right? And don't close the door too early. Keep knocking until you get a yes. Every no is getting you closer to a yes. Many times when you're waiting for that yes, you'll feel uncertain. You have done an RFP, request for proposal, an expression of interest. You're waiting for it. You are worrying. I remember there's a friend of mine who wanted a job. She used to call, crying. I was like, what are you crying about? They haven't called me. They said it was going to be 2 weeks. The 2 weeks have passed. What should I do? I said, find something else to do. Get your mind off it. When you think about it, say, the answer is going to come to me in the appropriate time, in the appropriate space, and in the appropriate sequence. Find something else to do, something else that will give you joy. And when you, as I'm not saying pretend that you didn't ask for a job, while you're waiting for that, there must be 100 other things that you can be doing. Find things that will keep you happy so that what you focus on expands. If you focus on anxiety, things that give you anxiety, the anxiety will expand. All right, so explore options, don't just stick with one. And as you're exploring options while you're waiting for that one, you're exploring this one, you're exploring this one, you're exploring this one, the anxiety will come down. Number 5, faith without action is dead. So yes, it is okay to believe positive. You're thinking positive, you wake up in the morning, you're doing your affirmations, but after that, you must sweat, all right? Put in your sweat equity. What do you need to do, all right? Because affirmation without work is not going to work. And you're going to say, so what do I need to do after affirmation? An idea will come to you. Take action. So take inspired action as you make affirmations, as you believe in the word of God, or whatever positive belief you have. There will be a time that will come that you'll feel, I need to do this, I need to go here, I need to go there. Do it. That one step will open more light. And as more light is open, the uncertainty reduces, all right? Making an adjustment is an action, all right? You see, I'm sitting like this. When I move like this, see, I've made an action. So don't just sit here waiting, making affirmations morning and night, waking up in the middle of the night to do more affirmations, and during the day you did nothing is going to happen, all right? I see Grace laughing. So reframe the uncertainty. One way of reframing the uncertainty, and this is the most powerful thing you can do for yourself. Anytime you are uncertain, what would you prefer? All right. Just like now, I want to use the cold, but I won't. Whatever you're uncertain about, all right, what would you prefer? Okay. So I call it have your 5. I like the number 5. All right. I already said the 5 critical areas of strength. I like to say have your 5 affirmations that you're going to run to. One of my favorite affirmations is all things are working well for me. All things are working well for me. All right. So you need to have your source of affirmations. My source of affirmations is the word of God. We say that all things work together for good for those who are called. All of us are called. We didn't show up here by magic. He called us here to serve, all right? And he says that all things work out together for our good if he has called us, because we are here on a service for him. And that's why I said you need to find your spiritual anchor, because without a spiritual anchor, you are going to be tossed to and fro during uncertain times. So reframe the uncertainty. Where you are now, what would you prefer? Speak it. Stop speaking what is. Speak what you would like, all right? And you are not pretending that you are not denying the reality. Your belief will change the fact, but speaking the fact will maintain the fact. I'm going to say that again. Your belief, your positive affirmation, what you believe can happen, can change a fact. So if you continue speaking the fact, you will maintain the fact, all right? That is all I'm going to say about that. So reframe your uncertainty. What would you prefer? All right. You have colleagues who are troublesome. All right. I don't go around talking about them. I decide. All right. I have competent cooperative colleagues. And then you're looking at them and you're like, seriously, Frida? Yes, today they don't look like that. But start by saying that. You'll start finding out how to deal with them, what is important to them, have time to have conversations with them, and you begin to see a change. But if you keep telling the whole world, telling your friends, sending WhatsApps, explaining how bad they are to you, what are you doing? That is going to increase. You will never saw that way. So reframe the uncertainty. Remember, work on your strengths, work when you're inspired, choose your options with no apology, all right? People say that you can't have your cake and eat it. I say I'll have my cake and eat it. It's my cake. If I don't eat it, who is going to eat it, all right? So there's some sayings that we have had and had. Start questioning them. Do they make sense in this century, all right? Make hay while the sun shines makes sense. Your altitude, determine how high and pace yourself. Pace yourself. How high do you want to go pace yourself? The pilot says that we're going to fly at this altitude and the highest we're going to go is like so. So that is how high you want to go. But what can you do in the interim to keep you happy while you're focusing on the end? And I'll show you how to do that as we come to the end of this. No matter what happens, learn to produce results and learn to produce more results than excuses. Anytime you make a commitment to do something, whether you are a volunteer or a paid tier, whichever one you are, all right, make sure you show up and get it done. If you cannot show up and get it done, let the people know I'm not able to do it. Find somebody who can do it instead of just saying, because I'm volunteer, I'm not going to do it. Do you realize people get volunteers because they don't have the resources to hire? So if you're not able to do it because you're busy with your hired job, then don't take it, all right? But if you put your hand in it, make sure you get it done, all right? We are talking about how to sweat and soar, how to sweat during certain times so that you can soar during, and how to sweat during certain times so that you can soar in certain times, all right? So finally, discover how to set the pace to win in life and work. Everything I'm talking about here today, you will need to discover and then set the pace, all right? At Passion Profit, we have a program called Setting the Pace to Win in Life and Work, because we don't believe in life-work balance, we believe in life-work integration. You plan, all right? So for you to set the pace, you will notice pace is the word PACE has been broken is an acronym for number one, you need to plan. And in your planning, what are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? What is your desired end? What are the beliefs and behaviors you need to get to that desired end? Because this is going to happen as you go towards your destination. And what are the roles that you're going to play? And what are the results for each role? All right. What are you doing? You are planning. And then you apply. You apply. Apply means take responsibility for every role and take action, okay? Take action. Actually, it's take action, not apply. Take action for every role. If you want to be a good father, you want to be, what does good father mean? What does good mother mean? What does good spouse mean? What does good employee mean? What does good employer mean? So, and what do you want to, what kind of employer do you want to be by the end of the 12 months? So you take action for each role based on the plan, and then connect with others, because alone you can go far, but with others, sorry, I realized I didn't change the screen. Alone you can go far. The first is plan, the next is take action, all right? And then the third is connect. Connect, because remember we said that you function from your area of strengths and you delegate your weaknesses. You must learn to build a town. You must learn to build a community, a support system of the people that are going to take care of the areas that you're weak. And this does not mean that they're your subordinates. These are people shining. All right, like I have a virtual assistant. She enjoys coordinating things. That is what she loves to do. It doesn't make me better than her. She's a good accountant. I'm not. All right. So which are the areas that you need help? So connect with people, build your social capital so that you're not working alone. You can pay that person, you can barter, or you can have some kind of exchange. And finally, evaluate. What you measure, you can improve. What gets measured gets done. Evaluate your results. Evaluate your results and continue producing results so that you're not producing excuses, all right? I'm gonna leave it there and invite you to ask questions. How are we doing on time, Grace?
Not very well, but I think it's all worth it if you ask me.
I see it's 9 o'clock.
Yes. I like the PACE. I like the acronym PACE. It sounds, yeah, it sounds quite good. And yeah, Frida, I'm just thinking to myself as you were talking, I think
Yes,
the thing that makes us really get stuck during uncertainties is the inability to think without emotion, and probably the
think
inability.
Objectively.
Yes, exactly. So it's our inability to think objectively, and also maybe getting stuck up in the emotion. What do you think?
That is absolutely true. At the beginning, remember I said there are 5 strengths that we need to build in advance. Many of us have not built those strengths because we are conditioned that as long as we have a good education, we are okay. So many of us have a good education, but we don't manage what we think, and we don't manage how we respond to external stimuli. So that is something we can learn, all right? So that's why I say that we make hay while the sun shines. So first, audit yourself, all right? What are the things that make you fearful and anxious and stressed out, and why? So when you find that you're either stressed out because you're fearful, you don't know what to do, Just like when you're going for an interview, when you're going for an interview and you have done a test of the interview and you're confident because you know you have the right papers, you have the right answers. So that shows us that we must prepare for that uncertain time by making ourselves, by having the right resources. And you see, the resources are my mental ability. I have the academia, but I'm also thinking positively. I'm able to be conscious enough to know when my thoughts are negative, and I have my affirmations that will help me change those thoughts. So this is not work that we have been taught. That's why I said we need to sweat during certain times so that when that trouble comes, we'll be able to respond. Okay, because it's all about personal responsibility. We'll be able to respond appropriately because I'm saying, okay, yes, it is election time. I don't know what will happen tomorrow. All right, so maybe I need to stock some food in my house. I need to make sure my car is gassed up. And this is not something that we only know this week. Every country has elections after every X number of years. So when you're looking at your strengths, your financial strength, how are you preparing for that time that there may be a downturn in your finances? Many times we don't do that. And then many times we also make excuses. What do we say? We say, oh, this money is not even enough for now. You want me to save it. But the thing is, when we start, we get into the habit, it will continue and things will change. The whole thing is about starting. And that's why we say in this program, how to set the pace to win, all right? How do we create the plan? What are the actions that we need to consistently take until it becomes a habit and behavior? And how do we connect with others and keep evaluating our win in life and at work?
All right, excellent. Carol Tudor, you wanted to say something?
No, I actually keep getting a message from you saying you are asking me to unmute to speak.
Yeah, because your hand is up.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry about that. Apologies. Apologies.
That is so interesting.
Okay. Thank you so much, Carol. And can see, I'm just trying to find. Okay, so Wafula says we need to. Wafula, I knew you would have your hand up. You cannot let a good conversation go, can you? Please unmute yourself.
Hi, Wafula.
Wafula? Okay, I think his machine is acting up. Or is it ours? Okay, no. Wafula, we cannot hear you. I have no idea what's happening on your end.
There's a question while we wait for Wafula. There's somebody saying, financial stability and friendships, I feel I have no true friends around me. And that's all right. You may feel that feeling is telling you that you need to do something about it. So it's okay to feel like that today. But if we meet 3 months from today and you're still at this feeling, then there's a problem. So the first thing is, based on what I've talked about, sweat, where do you have strength and where do you have weakness? You have weakness in true friends. Define who a true friend is. What are you going to do about it? Okay. And then finances, what does financial stability mean to you? Where are you at now? What are you going to do to increase it? And I can't say this enough. Jobs are great, but jobs are changing, all right? And your passion will always be with you. And your passion is that thing that you can do for somebody else and get paid. So you need to start figuring out, what else can I do? Because one job is not going to be enough, but you still have 24 hours. So what else are you going to be able to do? Those are conversations that you need to start having with yourself, or you can come to Get It Right and we help you get it right. I'm Ajay Grace. What do you think?
We always get it right. And
here we get it right.
Yes, here we get it right, yes. And yes, this is Get It Right with Atara Solutions, and brought to you by Atara Solutions in partnership with Balcon Housing and Stallion Construction Company. So Nani, Nabutola, your mic is not going to work today. And I see Aaron, your hand is up. Aaron from Rwanda.
Yeah, thank you for the discussion. This is quite interesting. But my contribution would be to that we need always to have a strategy. You know, we work for companies, we develop 5-year strategic plans, but we do not have individual strategic plans. And so we always live day by day. For most of us, I mean, not all of us, for some of us. So if you're living day by day, then you are likely to come across shocks. Now, those shocks are likely now to lead to the negative emotions you've been talking about. So one of the ways of reducing the negative emotions is also to have an individual development plan, to have contingency plans. You can always anticipate some of the things that are likely to come and develop contingency plans. But also it's important, I think, now on an individual level, when those negative emotions come or strike, you need to ask yourself some pertinent questions. If I continue fearing, it's going to wear me down. So in other words, what am I going to benefit by staying with those negative emotions? They will wear me down. Health-wise, I start feeling bad or even getting sick. So I think it's also important to do self-reflection and ask yourself, when those negative emotions come, and they're bound to come, whatever you do. So if I continue remaining emotional, what am I going to benefit? So the whole question is why I need to stop it and how do I do it? So it's also a question of reflecting and saying negative emotions are going to impact on you. They're going to impact your health. They're also going to impact the way you think and the way you work at your place, and even the plans you have. So I think that self-reflection is also key when those negative emotions strike. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much for that contribution, Aaron, and thank you for joining us. And next time, please bring about more people from Rwanda. We need to grow this community, yeah?
Yes, sure, great. Yeah.
Yeah. I think what Wafula wanted to say is there's something by Professor Larry Smith of Waterloo University in Western Ontario. He says, why you will fail to make important decisions. This is just a reflection of Frida's speech. Okay, thank you very much for that contribution. Frida, it looks like people are happy so far. No one is asking questions. Like, I think people came here. You have answered all the questions.
I hope I've answered all their questions. And I like what Aaron has said, Grace. If you could just allow me to write on that. He says that we need a plan. I remember I had shared with you the plan we use for the Pace Setter program, because in that program you can come for the info session on the 23rd. In that program, you get to develop a focused one-page plan for the next 12 months that you like, and this complements your internal development plans, your KPIs, and your top priorities in life and at work. Unlike organizational strategic plans that just focus on the organization, in the program Pace Setter, we help you plan for your life and for your work. And your work, we are not looking at your employment, we are looking at what can you do and earn, all right? And then you establish a monthly review process for accountability and resolving problem areas quickly. It really helps you it gives you guidelines so that you begin to replace old thinking patterns with new thinking patterns and change your behavior. There's not enough time for me to get into it. I just said I'll give you a peek, but on August the 23rd, you can come for the info session to understand how you can set the pace to win in life and work. Thank you very much, Grace.
All right. I like that. I will share the details with the team so that we can get to come in and learn more. And Frida, how do we do self-reflections? Just as we finalize.
Self-reflection is a discipline, and one you can. That's why I said we need to have strengthen our spiritual aspect. We need to have a time that we sit quietly, whether it's in the morning, in the evening, during the day, whichever time that you can set aside to be quiet. And when you're quiet, what do? One, you can focus on your accomplishments with gratitude. then you can look at what is not working. And when you look at what is not working, you look at what am I learning from this, all right? So having that time, it can be during the day, in the evening, different people have different times, and you can have a journal where you write down, okay? So you write down the things that are working, you write down the things that are not working as well as you'd like to, but you also put notes. What would it take to change this situation? I find that when we ask ourselves questions, then our mind goes out to get us the answers. But because we are always just busy going round and round, it doesn't happen. So I recommend everybody to get a time to unplug and a time to sit down. So if you have a plan of what you're going to do when you sit down, then it happens easier. So in the evening, having a time to just give gratitude for the day, what went well. In the morning, having a time to think of what you want to do during the day, what you have planned for that week can be very helpful. And the Pace Setter program helps you to do that because it helps you plan 12 months and then 30 days and then weekly, and you have all this on an app that you can follow. Back to you, Grace.
All right. That is quite you're loaded. You're always loaded, Frida. All this wisdom. I need to become part of your team.
God that glory.
I need to soak in all of it. Every time I meet you, even on the pizza dates, it's still
I love you.
I still live with something, so it's amazing. And
thank you.
Yeah, and I've seen a comment from Patricia O. Thank you very much, who is tuned in from Uganda. Thank you very much for keeping it, get it right. She says for the last 2 months, she's really been learning a lot when she started becoming a Get It Right follower. So thank you so much. And I hope you can continue joining us every so often as you can. Now, I have seen my team has posted a link on to join our WhatsApp group if you would like to be informed, especially for those people who are joining us for the first time. If you want to be informed on what's happening on Get It Right with the Tara Solutions, we have a WhatsApp group that you can join and you can stay informed so that you are not left behind. I've reshared the link, it's right there. If you would like, Frida, how do we get to share with those who registered the PACE class?
Okay. I'm going to send you the link to the event because I didn't come with it, but I'll send you the link so that they can sign up. It's going to be on the 23rd at 7 p.m. I'll send you the link.
Okay, excellent. So we'll share with you so that you can join in on the information class with Frida and get to learn more about the PACE program, because I believe it's an amazing program, which has tools to keep you grounded as you go along. So for those of you who joined us late, we have, oh my God, I almost forgot. Gosh, I have giveaways. Just 1 second.
I'm ready. I hope it's pizza. I'm playing. I can give you my address.
No, Richard is on the call. He might hear you.
Hi, Richard. And they're not even greeting us.
And the grace, remember, Rwanda, we've been missing on the gifts you've been giving to other people.
No, it's you who does not jump on them, Aaron. In fact, Frank had said anyone from Rwanda is a go, whether they have so long as they raise their hands. I mean, rather send an email by raising hand, I mean email. So Kampala has really benefited. Ask Patricia Awol, she's on the call. Awol, and even Brian Musisi, they have been training with Pathways for so long. So even you, please take advantage. Now we have 3 people who are getting free training by Pathway Solution Services. And we have offer one, individuals. So you get 2 trainings each, and the first training is on conflict management in the workplace, person productivities. This is a Zoom meeting, which will take, and then employee mediation through peer review, anger management, problem solving, and decision making. This is on the LMS. Frank, today you have not done me justice with these ones. Anyway, and then there is an offer for companies. So 2 companies, or rather 2 trainings. for companies with the courses of choice. And the courses to choose from today are reinventing yourself and business after interruption, training the trainer, conflict handling, corporate governance, crisis management, developing corporate behavior, business succession planning, emotional intelligence, and talent management. Now, these trainings, all these ones, you get to choose two topics that you can get your organization, or is it one? Yeah, it's two. Your organization trained on. This will be delivered via Zoom, and that is part of now this one's. Writing a business plan will be on Zoom, project management will be on Zoom, and then personal productivity will also be on Zoom. So, and for those who are taking the individual sessions, they must be completed within 30 days, yeah. And this will be for people who are joining us, I mean, trying this for the first time. So Aaron, I hope you're sending me an email as we speak. You must, okay, write a paragraph where you have, I mean, your reason or why you need to get the free sponsored training. And then of course, your full name and email is required to register in the LMS. And then you must write an email to grace@atarasolutions.co.ke and copy Frank at Pathway Solution Services. Pathway Solution Services. Pathways with an S, pathways with an S, and then solution. So pathway and then double S, which is pathways and solution services.co.uk. If you can do that right now, you'll get a chance to get trained. And then the Zoom sessions will be delivered in either September or October. The people who've been tuning in, they have gotten a chance to be trained. And most of them are happening actually from tomorrow. I think there's a session happening tomorrow for an organization. So if you represent a company here and you're looking forward to get free training, then please take advantage of these offers by Pathway Solutions to get it right, followers. All right, and I think that will be all. Now, Frida, your parting shot.
All right. My parting shot is in life, there's results and excuses. All right. Aim to produce results and no excuses, and you will be a thriving individual. Thank you very much, Grace.
Excellent, excellent. I can see on the chat there's somebody who's saying, kindly share WhatsApp for Frida.
Okay. Join the WhatsApp for Atara. I've already joined there. So anyway, but I'm giving you my number here.
Okay.
There, I've sent it there, but you'll meet me at Atara. If you're looking for me, if you see Atara, you have seen me. Because I want to get my life right. I'm always with her.
Yes, yes, we are getting
Thank
it.
you.
We are getting it right and making passion profit. All right, so
that's right.
Yes. So like I said, this webinar takes place every Tuesday from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. I am really looking forward to the end of this election period because we ought to go. Like, I love Tuesdays and I look forward to Tuesdays. But now these things of we are doing Mondays and whatever, they're not really the best of things. So we are going to go back to our Tuesdays. I am hoping from next week and hoping there will be no more interruptions. But this webinar series is brought to you by Atara Solutions in partnership with Balcon Housing, Stallion Construction Company Limited, Pathway Solution Services, Institute of Pension Management, Fina Gardens Resort, Panessa Training Institute, We Clean, Kapula Mintito, the Career Management Center, and Ames College of Business and Technology. All these guys have really, we are so grateful to you people because your partnership has really enabled us be consistent in training people and just changing the world through information, which is what we are on a mission to. So we really appreciate you. Pathway Solution Services, thank you so much for the free trainings that you've been offering our people. And then Fina Gardens, thank you for the offer on the 10%. Please, if you're looking for a piece of land, get in touch with Balcon Housing. If you're looking to renovate your house, Stallion Construction Company it is. If you're looking to train your people on the LMS is Learning Management System, then Pathway Solution Services are your people. And then if you're looking to specialize in pension management or you just want to understand how pension works, then Institute of Pension Management would be your people. If you haven't done your CHRP, they also have an intake ongoing. And then they clean carpets within 6 minutes. They do free pickup and free delivery if you're around Nairobi. Kapla Mintito, if you are ever looking for mabuyu, and especially if you ever travel to Mombasa, because I can speak for the Nairobians, the mabuyus you get anywhere else, you cannot compare with what Mintito supplies to you. And then we have the Career Management Center for the moms who are looking to bounce back into employment. And then we have AIMS College of Business and Technology for all your diploma and certificate courses. So thank you so much, guys, for being here. We really appreciate you. Thank you so much. Kevin, where are you? How is it? Kevin was managing Facebook today. I can see he's there typing out. So thank you so much for, yeah, you're here.
Okay, we don't have any question on Facebook, sorry.
Okay. All right, so thank you so much, Kevin, for being here and for your support. It's always appreciated. And for the people who made the time, we really appreciate you. And thank you so much for making the time. We shall see you next Tuesday. By the way, if you're here, we are reaching out to you for feedback. We haven't done any feedback in season 3. So we are really going to share this, a link on the WhatsApp groups and on email, so that you can give us feedback. Tell us where we can improve. Tell us what we've been getting right. Tell us who some of the speakers that you'd want to hear. Tell us some of the topics that you'd like us to cover. Because I mean, we've been doing this since January, and we think we try to come up with creativity, but we'd like to creative topics, but we'd really like to hear from you. Please give us feedback when we reach out to you with the link, and so that we can make it a better and more involving session. So I hope you've been enjoying yourself. My name is Grace Nzula, a HR consultant and trainer with Atara Solutions. I am also known as the moderator of choice. Please follow us on Instagram, Atara Solutions. Follow us on Facebook. Oh gosh. Follow us on Instagram, Atara Solutions. Like our Facebook page, Atara Solutions. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Get It Right with Atara Solutions. And of course, LinkedIn, Atara Solutions, or LinkedIn, you can find my personal profile, CHRP Grace Nzula. So thank you so much, guys, and have yourselves a lovely night. Frida, I love your photo. I look at it and I'm smiling at it. Kumbe, then I discovered it's not you.
That's about sweating that's how you sweat. You get the right pictures. So all this business that I don't have a picture, I don't have a profile, I don't have what. A time is coming, you'll be asked for these things. Be prepared so that you can solve.
Absolutely. I really love the sweat to sew. So thank you so much, Frida. Always a pleasure having you. And we keep talking, yeah?
Thank you very much, ma'am.
All right.
Good night, everyone.